What is up, Valorant fans? Welcome back to the Valorant Report. I'm IHOLDSHIFT, giving you guys the Day 2 breakdown from the T1 Valorant Ignition Series showdown. Brief reminder for you guys, again, 16 total teams participated. Group play happened in day number 1. This would be the playoff day, at least the first day of our playoffs, with our final 8 teams. A brief reminder as far as what the groups looked like after the results came through from day number 1. Out of Group A, FaZe Clan, Together We Are Terrific. They both go 2-1 in their group. FaZe Clan having beat Together We Are Terrific, and with a better round count differential, take the first spot. Together We Are Terrific at the second. The big surprise, Cloud9, even though TenZ is putting up a mammoth performance time and time again, could not make it into the playoff bracket. Definitely a big surprise there. In Group B, Team Solo Mid looking like one of the top teams in North America. No problem really whatsoever for them in their group, as they took care of everybody without any problem really whatsoever. Immortals would take the number 2 spot. Again, without much cause for concern, with the exception of their match versus Team Solo Mid. In Group C, T1 100 Thieves, the 2 squads to get through, and after T1 escaped a close call versus Code 7, they were able to handle 100 Thieves without much cause for concern at all. For 100 Thieves, though, they beat Team Ninja, they beat Code 7. Obviously, they lose the set versus T1, but they still lock in the number 2 spot. And then to finish things off in Group D, Sentinels, Gen G make their way through. Sentinels, a big surprise, I think, in a lot of people's minds, as they look very clean throughout the day. Let's talk playoffs, though. We're going to start and just go through the upper bracket, where we dealt with our first 2 rounds, the quarterfinals and the semifinals, if you prefer that nomenclature. Team Solo Mid, Together We Are Terrific. This was off stream, but it looked like it was a pretty good one. TSM took map 1 and map 3. They were able to take it 2-1 in total. 13-4 and 13-5 were their wins, but they lost Ascent to Together We Are Terrific. 5-13 the tally there. Definitely something to keep in mind. This Together We Are Terrific squad qualified through the NSG qualifier stages before this tournament ended up starting. They looked good there. They looked good again as they made the top 8, and they give TSM a run for their money in one of the maps. FaZe Clan and 100 Thieves was on stream for trying to catch that VOD. Another good best of 3 series here between these 2 squads, is the first 2 maps went to the wire. The first one in specific went all the way to the wire. Went to an overtime where it was a 13-12 in favor of FaZe on Bind specifically. Haven would be up next. 100 Thieves were able to take it there, 13-11, but then the split would end up in FaZe's favor, 13-6. as they found 8 defensive rounds to start, very convincing for them, and then they also kept things rolling on their offense for a 5-2 count on that half. Good stuff there from FaZe Clan, as they're able to take down 100 Thieves and showcase that this recently put together roster definitely could be a major threat. Sentinels and Immortals was the match that I really wanted to watch and didn't get a chance to see any of it because it was not on broadcast, but it went to 3, and all 3 maps by scoreline were tremendously close. 13-10 for Sentinels on Bind, but then map 2, map 3 would be Immortals. A 13-12 golden round win on Ascent for IMT, and then Haven a 13-10 for Immortals to finish off Sentinels and send them to the losers bracket. And to close things out, it would be T1 and Gen G. The first map a touch close, as Gen G put up a fight, but it was a 13-11 on Haven and then a 13-5 on Ascent. T1 looking primed to potentially make themselves a possible grand finalist. Going to our upper bracket semifinals, these matches again were broadcasted with 1 on stream, 1 off stream. TSM, oh boy, these guys looking absolutely terrifying. FaZe Clan put up a bit of a fight, but definitely outclassed and outmatched in this best of 3, where TSM were able to take Haven 13-9 and Ascent 13-7. On the bottom side, as you see it, T1 a little bit more convincing in their 2-0 versus Immortals, as they found a 13-4 on Haven, yikes, and a 13-9 on Ascent. So in the winners finals, it would be Team Solo Mid going up against T1. I believe that action actually starts our day on day number 3, so we'll go over the championship bracket when we get there. Jumping down to the losers bracket, though, again, after they suffered their loss, 100 Thieves would play up against Together We Are Terrific, and these are actually only best of 1s. So it's kind of weird because, again, how the vetoes work. Maybe a best of 3 would see different results, but in this one, for 100 Thieves, Together We Are Terrific, 100T looking like, okay, let's get ourselves put together. Tough series versus FaZe Clan. This is a team that we need to beat and should beat and they did 13-7 on Ascent. But then you also had Sentinels playing up against Gen G. Kind of the same storyline here. Again, this Gen G squad still has a lot to prove in my mind. A couple of players that, again, maybe have not necessarily broken into the scene with as much electricity as some others, especially ones that are on Sentinels. And it was a 13-6 on De Haven. So, coming out of the winners bracket, you would have Immortals dropping down to play 100 Thieves, and you would have FaZe Clan dropping down to play up against Sentinels. These series were so much fun to watch, as we had a chance to watch the majority of these come through. The 100 Thieves versus Immortals set, again, it was a really, really fun one to watch as we had this one come through. It was on Bind, and man, what a performance from Venerated from 100 Thieves, sniping everything that crossed his path. But on the opposite side, Asuna would not be denied, and the Mongolian Mammoth of Gangsta able to work himself in the mix as well to help Immortals make sure that 100 Thieves could not make the full bounce back. 13-12 in a golden round where Immortals were forced to get a defense, and the retake was about a 3-on-5 or something like that, and Asuna popped off to make sure that that indeed would happen. On the other front, though, you had FaZe Clan playing up against Sentinels. This one a little bit more convincing, and that's good news for FaZe Clan because, again, this is a recently put together roster of which the expectations are a little all over the place, but what we've seen is that every single member on this roster can perform at a high level, especially against other extremely talented individuals. That was showcased in this one. It was the 13-7 FaZe Clan move on to face Immortals in the losers semifinals. Technically, those are your final 4 squads. So here's your championship bracket to get you going for day number 3. TSM, T1, best of 3 in the winners finals. As far as I understand, though, Immortals and FaZe Clan will be playing in a best of 1 still. As far as the format is listed, everything in the losers bracket is a best of 1, which is going to feel a little bit bad, I think, considering that we only have 4 teams left. And again, for all of these top 4 squads, it really could go one way or the other depending on what the map vetoes and picks are. So it's a little bit unfortunate, but I get the change and I get the format consideration when it comes to broadcast timing especially. But I'm going to leave you with this one little thought. What have we learned so far through these first 2 days of this Valorant showcase? Number 1, there are probably 6 extremely solid teams that can battle up against each other on any given day. The question that we have for tomorrow is there actually a gap between the top 2 teams and then teams 3 through 6? Because right now it does feel like there is a bit of a gap between teams at top 6 versus the teams from 7 really until about 10 or so. But after that, it really does feel like the gap widens pretty heavily as we look at our final 4 teams. And I think there could be some argument for our top 6 teams in total, saying that, yeah, all 6 of these teams are incredibly close in skill disparity right now. The question that kind of is still lingering is if TSM and T1 are able to kind of solidify themselves as by far the top 2 teams in the game. Is there a big gap between TSM, T1, and the rest of the pack behind them? We will find out tomorrow. I hope you guys join in to the T1 stream and enjoy the games. And of course, we'll be back with day number 3's recap right here on the Valorant Report. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, hope you keep holding it down. Later. Bye-bye.